Hello, babes. Taryn and I are here, perhaps slightly crunchier, spicier, and spacier, at least for me, than usual. We'll hope that mouth words grace us with their presence, and we will have a little chat about the upcoming astrology, which
Yeah.
Taryn was like, there's three things. One of them is a spicy new moon. I was like, great,
Yeah.
tell me more. I love you. I'm not mad at you. I'm just like, ugh, ugh.
And it's the work I do has me as the messenger an awful lot, and I understand that. Oh, yeah. So before we get to the spicy new moon,
Uh-huh.
yeah, on Tuesday, Mercury is retrograding into Scorpio. So it's like changing signs. We talked, I don't know, what was that last week?
Yeah, I think so.
Recently about it turning retrograde.
Yeah.
But within that backwards arc, it is changing signs. And so Mercury and Scorpio, which we also talked about like a month-ish ago when it first went in, has this energy of wanting to like dig deep and get to the like deep truth.
Mm,
It's sort of the archetype of the like the detective, very Humphrey Bogart-esque, this kind of like we're
mm,
gonna find out what's underneath. And frequently, which is sort of the Scorpio element of it, the like things that we don't necessarily want to see or that the world isn't comfortable seeing.
mhm.
Scorpio is very much about the like, not just the ugly truth, but like particularly making room for the ugly truth.
Mhm. Mm,
And
mm,
then, retrograde Mercury energy already has this like revisiting, reconsidering, reevaluating energy. And so, even more of this like, are there things that were skated over? Are there things where we actually need to look a little bit below the surface?
mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah. So maybe some rude root cause reveals. That's what I'm
Yeah.
hearing.
Yeah.
That might be the title of this post.
I love the alliteration. I'm so here for it.
Okay, so Mercury continuing backwards into Scorpio.
Yeah.
Fun.
Mhm.
What else can we look forward to this delightful week?
Yeah. So then on Thursday, we have the aforementioned spicy new moon. So it's the new moon in Scorpio. It's coming right towards the end of Scorpio season. So it's like 28 and change degrees, almost at the end of the sign. And the new moon happens when the sun and the moon are in the same part of the sky. So we are intensely in the Scorpio energy. We'll also
Mm,
be conjunct Mercury because it's come back. So add that layer. And
mm.
then this particular new moon is extra spicy because it's opposite Uranus over in Taurus. So we talked
Right.
again, I think last week or the week
Yeah.
before when
I
it's
think it was
time.
2 weeks ago that we talked
Okay.
about Uranus moving into Taurus. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So like we're in this broader, like 5-ish months of Uranus there in Taurus again for the last time, and it'll be 80 years before it goes back. That's sort of asking us to finish up the last bits of massive transformation that it's triggered since
Mhm.
2018. And this new moon is likely to sort of put pressure on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pick a metaphor, bruise, whatever, but it will sort of bring attention, bring energy to like, hey, what pieces of this maybe haven't been fully transformed? That kind of,
Yeah.
you've done a lot of work on a pattern, but then you're in a relational container that sort of puts you back in an old mind space and sort of
Mm,
noticing those things.
mhm.
And there's likely to be a particularly heavy emotional quality to this new moon because, in addition to being opposite Uranus, it's in a grand water trine with Jupiter over in Cancer and Saturn and Neptune over in Pisces. So we have this like huge amount. Yeah, just well, with the exception of Pluto, sort of all of the like slowest moving planets.
Yeah.
It's a big sort of upwelling of like
Mm,
watery emotional energy. And then
yeah.
particularly with that Uranus pressure, it kind of gives me feelings of like a geyser. Like it's been simmering under the surface, and
Mm,
this new moon may trigger this sort of eruption.
yeah.
Um, which, you know, can be, probably is in this circumstance, like like a good thing. It
Mhm.
brings attention, it brings release, it helps us sort of see where we need tenderness and emotional care, but probably not a super pleasant experience in the moment. Possibly a little, well, possibly a lot spicy, possibly a little griefy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, but actually, Taryn, this is tracking to what we were talking about before we started recording. We
mhm.
were talking about how we both recently got body work,
Yeah.
like manual therapy, body work, where it was like not pleasant,
Yeah.
right? I'll speak from my own experience. Like I just got more kind of like cupping and massage, and it was like everywhere she went, and I had, gestured and said what was going on, she found stuff that really like, I was like, oh, yeah, that's the problem that I thought was there. And lo and behold, it is there, and you have found it, and we are working with it. But woof,
Yeah.
right? And so, and I don't know, it just feels like a perfect kind of analogy for what like a physical version of what some of this might feel like, right? Where it's like you can tell, like I could tell that my neck was stiff and that my shoulder was feeling kind of like unseated, and like everything I was trying was kind of just like scratching the surface and like getting me by. And then it took someone like getting into the layers of tissue and like finding those sort of stuck and grabbed places to like restore flow. And it was like intense, but had kind of a like, there was sort of like an immediate quality of relief to like,
Yeah.
oh, we found the stuck thing. Like your fingers are on it. It is not no longer a mystery. Like that is definitely there. And so it was both
Yeah.
like validating to my experience and also like, okay, phew, we found the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think so many layers of that are a good parallel, right? That like Scorpio energy of like, okay, you can kind of like be on the surface, it maybe sort of satisfies, but it doesn't really get to the like deeper issue. That like, okay, no, we're really getting into the stuck, the gunk, the whatever like needs
Yeah.
attention that is kind of unpleasant to look at and be with.
Hmm.
And until it moves, just like keeps on creating pain.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. I mean, things like the body is an ecosystem that is meant to have patterns of flow and circulation, right? The most obvious one that we all know about is like our blood circulating. Like if that doesn't happen, you die pretty quickly. Also your
Turns
breath.
out.
If that doesn't circulate, also dead. But the lesser known one is like your lymphatic system is meant
Yeah.
to have some flow. Um, and then like the fascia even, right, which is this like thin, stretchy layer that kind of like encases different muscle groups and like makes patterns throughout the body. Like that is actually a system or an organ of flow and transfer and movement. And so often when we have something that's not feeling good in the body or not working well in terms of like range of motion or like pain, it's usually like there's a stagnancy of a needed flow.
Mhm.
And so, invitation, if you are like being with something in your body that's not feeling good, to like consider it under that lens of like, oh, this is a place where there's some stagnancy. Can I bring my attention to it? Not in a like, I'm gonna get in there and fix you or punish you way, but just in a like, okay, I'm bringing my attention to this stagnant place, and can I invite any more flow? Or does anything occur to me to do that might help
Mm.
some flow return? And like, I was thinking as you were talking to her, and I was like, is there any particular movement snack that I would recommend for this? And like, I was like, no, just like honestly, any of them. Like any movement, motion is movement, anything that gets your joints to move and your muscles to contract and relax helps to stimulate all of those systems to have more circulation. Um, and any, especially if you're in active pain, any movement that doesn't make the pain worse is going to help de-escalate your perception of that pain and help stimulate those circulatory systems, which ultimately helps lower inflammation. So just invitation to like move with whatever you're feeling, right? If the emotions feel stuck, sometimes moving the body any way that feels tolerable or reasonable to attempt can help the feelings flow through you as well.
Yeah. Well, and okay, added layer, not a like,
Yeah.
I think, and comes very much from my own, like, my own, I do it a way that's not helpful. And I have learned, sort of, not really, but we're working on it. That, like, invitation to continue being with it, continue being in flow, and like,
Longer than you want.
yes, less, more gently over longer time and more frequently. It's my least favorite. I want to go hard and aggressively for a short period of time,
Yeah.
but that's not the pace of nature, and we are nature. Turns out, so
Yeah.
rude.
Yeah. So, so real. Well, and it's like interventions that create healing, ranging from like loving, gentle touch, or even like Reiki, right? Like energetic
Mhm.
stimulation, um, loving but not targeted touch, specific manual therapy touch, chiropractic adjustments where they're moving your bones around, all the way up to like surgery, which I would say is on the extreme end of interventions. Like all of them have sort of a recovery need, surgery being the largest one, right? And so sometimes it's like we think we want that like surgical intervention, even if that's a metaphor, that's gonna like fix the thing. But like if you have been through surgery or know anyone who's been through surgery, the recovery time is longer than you want it to be.
Yeah,
And it's debilitating
yeah.
quite often. It's not like, oh, and I spring into action, like there's a recovery cost to that. So yeah, nothing, I don't want to say nothing is fast because sometimes things can really shift quite dramatically quite quickly, but like often there's a there's just a pace to change that we don't get to choose.
That I was gonna say, I think, like, sometimes things are fast, sometimes things are slow, but like, again, hate it. We're not the one who chooses the pace, like,
Yeah.
98% of the time.
Yeah.
That pace is something outside of our control, and the more we can be with the pace of reality,
Mhm.
you can see how enthusiastic I am about this, right?
The more we can be with the pace of reality. You're like boiling over there.
uh But like, the more effective, if nothing else, the more effective and more efficient we are, right? We're not wasting
Yeah.
energy. Kind of thinking about it in like a driving or traffic metaphor, like,
Right.
if you're trying to go faster than everybody else on the road, you're just going to spend your time frustrated, like
Hmm.
tailgating somebody,
Right.
you know.
Over gripping the steering wheel. Like it's
Yeah,
not, yeah, it can be better to sort of be like, okay, this is the pace that things are going at. Can I like accept that and like find a sort of energy efficient way to go with that pace?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, love it. Okay, one more thing.
Yes, one more thing. Thank you. I almost forgot now. So on Friday, the sun moves. We are going into Sagittarius season. And so,
Woohoo!
yes. Yeah. So this shifts us out. I mean, a little bit. There'll still be other planets there, but like, it shifts us out of the like deep, intense Scorpio underworld and sort of
Mhm,
moves us into this place of like, okay, we learned things through that death and rebirth, through that exploration, whatever metaphor. Now, what do we want to do with that? Who are we?
mhm,
What is our identity with that? How do we want to express
mhm,
that, use that, play with that? Right?
mhm,
Not Scorpio. Sagittarius is like a very playful archetype. It's
mhm,
really expansive, visionary energy. that
Mm,
sort of brings the fire, brings the spark of life back
yeah.
to the sort of deep dissolving, deep hold. I am a Scorpio. I swear I like the energy. The way I describe it, it
Yeah.
doesn't always
Yeah.
sound. But yeah,
It's been particularly uh draggy this year, I feel.
yeah. I think having Mars up in there as well has really turned the volume up.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so the thing that occurs to me as like a fun invitation is like whilst in Scorpio, and we've been talking about this the last few weeks, there's been this kind of invitation to like be with our shadow side and like maybe
Yeah.
see some of our shadowier parts, maybe even our like exiled parts.
Yeah.
And a fun way to playfully welcome those aspects into your like internal caucus is to like engage some sacred theater. So maybe like just in your bedroom, you could post pictures in the group if you want, but like maybe like see what it's like to put on an outfit that kind of like dramatizes one of your shadowy parts.
Yeah.
And like, you could make it real silly or really camp, right? Like think like the art of the theater, the art, like channeling kind of drag, sacred clown energy, but like how do you want to like let might be helpful to let that part really embody your body, like to fill your body and like have some expression and just like play with it, right? Like maybe there's a cranky, whiny part and you want to just really go for that and be like, I hate it, it's terrible, right? Like let it be like big and ridiculous. Because that can actually be a really potent way to like create movement and flow in those stuck places and um, like welcome those parts. Like start to integrate those parts.
Absolutely. Let me think about, like, I think archetypically and frequently teenagers are such a good model of that. The like, I
Yeah.
am feeling a certain way, so I'm going to, cut my hair, dye
Dye
it
my
up.
hair,
Yeah,
paint my nails, listen to death metal.
exactly. And the kind of like ways in which the like almost making it larger than life can both like be a form of resource to be with something uncomfortable and be a way of helping it move.
Yeah. And be a way of like not taking it so seriously
Mm-hmm.
that can then allow a little space between you and
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I hope that anyone takes me up on this and posts a picture of their crazy outfit, character, caricature, archetype in the forum. I think that would be super fun to encourage each other with, but no pressure. I know we all have a lot going on right now. Ah, thank you, Taryn.
Thank
Gosh,
you.
I just enjoy these so much.
Yeah, me too.
All right, my darling. We will see you next week with more of whatever is coming because that's just what we do.
Tis. Tis.
Mwah.